Hey, y'all. Well, it is 2023, and y'all, our good friend Cartez Ross over at Move Abroad and Thrive put out some videos about some stories moving abroad.
Yeah, they were damn scary, some of them.
Yes, these dreams became nightmares, and folks looked like they got caught out there without a plan.
Yes, yes, they didn't have a plan. Well, I think some of them did have plans, but they didn't go and cross all the T's and dot all the I's. So they missed some things.
Yeah, so let's continue that conversation. But
Yes.
first, we're going to introduce ourselves. Hey, y'all, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia. Welcome back.
Yes, yes, yes. It is 2023. And on our channel, we talk about money, travel, and retiring abroad as we build generational wealth. We help folks who are close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get their money straight so they can live the life of their dreams. So, specifically, what are we going to be talking about today, sweetheart?
We're going to talk about goals and dreams, and we're going to also just talk about some of the videos that we saw from Mr. Ross's Move Abroad and Thrive, and get your input or what you guys think.
Yes.
We don't know anybody that's done that or had those issues or anything like that, but it's something good to have in the front of your mind as you're going through the process of getting ready to move abroad.
Yes. So we are going to give you 5 steps that you need to take in 2023 so you can move closer to your expat dream life. But first, if you are new to our channel, then let me tell you about 6 years ago, Rick and I got close to retirement age. All right. We looked at our finances and they looked crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, but about 3 years ago, we got our financial act together and we went from negative 22,000 over 800,000 in net worth. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please hit that like button, hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. Well,
We're
actually,
almost there. Well,
we were trying to get to 5,000 actually.
We wanted 5.
Yes.
But we're closer to 4. Actually, we might be at 4. We were one person off of 4,000.
Yeah.
We were 3,999 before we got on air.
Yeah, before we started this video. So, y'all, we know that 50% of you guys, especially who watch the replays, are not subscribed. If you are watching our replays on a regular basis, please hit that subscribe button and then share this information with a friend. We are on a mission, y'all.
Definitely.
We are on a mission. It is 2023. And we do not want anyone else feeling stuck, feeling anxious, feeling nervous about their money, about their future, about their retirement, because I'm telling you, Rick and I are living our best lives. We had a great New Year's Eve watching the fireworks from our balcony.
From our balcony. It was so cool.
Yes,
Front
yes,
and
yes.
back.
And we want you to live the life of your dreams, live life on your own terms as well. So let's say hello to a couple of folks before we get started. We have some people in here early, and I don't know if Blessed in every area of my life is still online, but if you are, hi there. Hello, the Howard Worldview, summertime. Diane, happy New Year's to you too. BJM, happy New Year's. Auntie Trey,
hey,
good to see you. My stethoscope travels now. I know the name. Good to see you again. Hey, Rhonda, Valerina, y'all. It is so nice to be in a new year. Hey, Marguerite, all the way from Tennessee. And we got Rosalind. Rosalind, let us know if you got into the Facebook group. So we have a Facebook group called Our Black Utopia Fire Over 50. And you do have to be Black to join. You do not have to be over 50 to join. And we talk about all things money. We keep a safe space so we can talk about our isms being, from the diaspora and growing up in an oppressed nation and all that goes into that, as well as how to reach our financial goals. So, hey there, mind your business. And Evelyn, good to see you. Cassandra. Yapa Judah. So I saw you over at Rashida earlier. How you doing? Vanessa Ruiz, good to see you. Shana, good to see you. Professor, always good to see you.
Hello, Professor.
Yes, Latifa, hello, hello. Glass half full. Barbara Dennis, Phyllis A, Kendall. Killer Queen, I don't think I've seen you in the live in a minute, but good to see you.
Good
Or
to see
maybe
you
we just
again.
been gone for a minute, is
It
what it
seems like it's
is.
been forever.
I know, and
Jeez.
it's only been 1 week, only Christmas. Hey, Maritine, good to see you. Stacy, Julie, and it looks like that's it for now. Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching from the future, hey.
Hey.
Say hello in the comments and let us know where you are logging in from. So let's get started. 2023, and I meant to bring up our vision board, but I'm not going to try to do that right now, y'all. I am not going to try to do that. I was late getting in here, even though I started early and I didn't get to practice. I saw what happened when we did this in the Facebook group.
Is that a sign for 2023?
Yes. Yeah, we got to start getting in here earlier. So if you are in our Fire Over 50 Facebook group, then you saw our vision board, and the vision board for 2022, a lot of it we made happen, right? And so the thing about creating your dream life is knowing what you want that to look like. So step number 1, and this comes from you, sweetheart, have a vision of what you want your expat life to look like. Step number 1, have a vision. And when I say vision, I mean close your eyes and envision what that dream life looks like. Write down what your day-to-day looks like. This is no longer a vacation.
No. In the first part, you're always going to be, it's going to be like you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Because you got to get used to those routines and those isms and stuff like that. But it's really not a vacation. And that has to go away very fast.
Yes. Depending upon if you're doing fat fire or not, look, eating like you're on vacation. Yeah, I have gained weight. Waking up late, just doing what you want to do. Some of that stuff, yes, can continue, because we don't really have a hardcore schedule. But spending money like you're on vacation, yeah, no.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that.
So this is everyday life. Then write down how you will treat or splurge for yourself. So getting back to these stories, we want to tell you some of these stories. And if y'all watch Cortez, you have heard them before. Yeah. But he was talking about a gentleman who moved to Mexico and was talking about, he's going to, stay in Mexico for a little bit.
He was only there for a couple of days.
Right. And then, and also he was going to check out Southeast Asia, Thailand, Bali, all these places he's going to travel to. But within 3 days of arriving in Mexico, he's calling Cortez asking about a food bank.
Do they have a food bank? And Cortez was like, well, what do you mean? Do you mean like you want to donate food or you want to donate money to the food bank? He said, because I'm sure they probably do have a food bank for the locals, for the people there. And he said, no, man, I haven't eaten in a couple of days. I'm hungry. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You just got here and you were supposed to have all this stuff worked out and planned on what you were going to do.
Yeah, yes. But homeboy was asking for a food bank. So we did put out our Ready to Retire toolkit our Move Abroad toolkit. So I'm just going to put that up right now. And the reason why I'm putting this up is because this walks you through the steps that we are talking about. Write down what you want your everyday life to look like and how you will splurge. Now, what I don't think was the intent was for somebody to be asking about a food bank and the fact that they had not eaten. I don't know. I know that no one here in our community would be living like that, right, y'all? I know that's not the case. So, I don't know what to say. So number 1, have a vision of what you want your expat life to look like, and then plan for that. Write down how you will splurge. Number 2.
Yeah, you got to plan the budget. You have to. I'm reading notes too because you wrote this one. Plan a budget necessary to support that day-to-day life and splurges.
Yes. So keep in mind all necessary costs: transportation, healthcare, insurance, Depending upon where you move to, yes, you might be able to have affordable health care. But what if something crazy happens? What if you get into a car accident? When we first arrived,
We were in a car accident.
we were in an Uber accident or Bolt or whatever ride share we were using. Homeboy got jackknifed, and I was in the back with a friend of mine, and Rick was in the front. And thankfully, we all walked away, but it could have turned out much differently. So, whereas you've got money put aside to make sure that you can do your preventative care and your well checks and all of that kind of stuff, what if you get put in the hospital? In Mexico, I know you have to come out of pocket 10, 20, $15,000, something like that.
Yeah, you have to give them your credit card
Yeah, up front.
up front. And
Now, you may have insurance that will reimburse you, but you've got to have that money. So here in Portugal, they have true universal health care, but it's for residents.
Yeah.
And so you need to have a residence card, or for citizens, of course. So we have private health insurance. We had travel health insurance on top of that, which is still in force until March, which takes care of emergencies like a car accident, as well as our private insurance.
And also added to that insurance point, yes, you can buy insurance through the bank. You can, but if you're 20 years old, you have no pre-existing conditions or anything like that, you could probably get by with that because it may not cover everything that you need to have covered if you do have these things and you're older. So you just got to be careful of that. You got to make sure that the insurance that you're purchasing is going to cover
Exactly
the needs that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you have any questions about that, this is specifically for Portugal. We did do a video about healthcare in Portugal. I'll put a link in the description after this. And then if you're part of the Fire Over 50 group, we did an interview with Serenity, which is a healthcare concierge here, where he goes in depth about the system here and how the insurance works. But no matter where you're moving to, know what the system is, what it will cover, and then get appropriate insurance. Don't self-change yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so it reminds me of a story that cartoon. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
You cannot make this stuff up. So people got down to Mexico, ran out of money, and then started living. Calling around asking, can we find a place to live? Can you help me find a place to live? So one gentleman actually opened his house to a couple as well as somebody else. So he had 3 people staying with him. The couple was constantly in fights, no surprise, because their finances are jacked up. And most couples argue about money. So gentleman did not even feel comfortable in his own home. Now, y'all, Rick and I, that's not our ministry. Don't come to Portugal, run out of money, and think you go stay with us, because family.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not our ministry, loves. That's not our ministry. So, but seriously,
emergencies are emergencies. Help is help. I mean, but you can only go so far in doing. You can't take over and live somebody else's life, or the kids are grown.
Yeah.
All the kids are grown.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I can do like cartel. I'll buy you a pizza.
Well, but the other thing is that when you're in the United States or whatever your home country is, and you get into a financial situation, hopefully you've got a safety net of family and friends that can get you through those hard times. When you move abroad, the majority of the people that you meet are going to be near strangers, right? And then the other thing to keep in mind, if you are the person who is going to allow someone to live with you, know what squatters' rights, know the laws of the land, because once somebody is living with you, you may not be able to get them out. Right? You may not be able to get them out. Next thing you know, you leaving and leaving, right? And leaving them there. So,
and I have heard that one story one time about that in Portugal. Somebody did that.
Really?
Yeah, they call themselves helping somebody out, let them move in their apartment, and couldn't get them to leave.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know
That's
who they
right.
were. I don't know what their names is. I wouldn't say what their names are anyway. But
Yeah.
it happens. It
Yes.
happens.
Yes. We've heard about people actually here who run out of money and cannot make their rent, much less have enough money to go back to the home country. I remember Adelia was talking about when she was teaching in, was it Kuwait? I think it was Kuwait. And she was like, you know what, these folks are on something and I'm out. But all of her colleagues did not have it like that. Like they did not have enough money to get back home. So they were stuck. You do not want to find yourself in that position. So, first, plan the budget necessary to support that day to day life as well as the splurge. In our Move Abroad Toolkit, there is a whole sheet to work out what your budget will be with the databases that tell you how much it costs to live in different places. I would use that as a starting point and then talk to people in the Facebook groups to make sure that the numbers are still relevant since there's been so much inflation and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to take a second and see if you have questions. Y'all know the routine. If you have questions, put a Q in front of your question so we can see what the questions are from the comments. And I see a question from Regina right quick, and then I will go up. Rather than applying for permanent residency, I'm thinking about going back and forth from the US to Portugal every other 90 days on a tourist visa. Did you consider going back and forth? Heck no, Regina.
Not back to the United States. Well, if we go back and forth anywhere, it'd be between here and Mexico.
We have permanent residency in Mexico as well. So the United States is an oppressive regime that crushes my spirit and makes me depressed. Just to hear the news in America just depresses the heck out of me. And I just don't want to hear it. So, nah. But I would check out, Regina, whether you can come back. Because I know it's every 60 days. And I'm not sure how that works with calendar years and things like that. If you've done the research, I do know someone.
There is a guy that.
You got a guy?
No, he ain't my guy. No, we had met a guy.
Oh, that's
we
right.
had dinner over Tawana's that time.
That's
and
right.
We met a guy, and he splits his time between here and the U.S. So he'll be here for 6 months out of the year, and then he'll go back to the U.S. and stay.
How does he here for 6 months when you only get 3 months?
Or 3 months, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is here for 3 months, and he goes back. But he owns an apartment here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's 3 months every 6 months, and then the clock resets. So I'm not sure how that works, but let us know if y'all know. So yeah, no, we do have a friend who was doing 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, and then she just finally decided to make it permanent here. I didn't get in Black in Portugal, but yes, I did get the Fire Over 50. Thank you. Okay, great. Well, I am having lunch with Heather on Wednesday. So if you text me or WhatsApp me, because you've got my WhatsApp number, I will talk to her and see if we can get you into Black in Portugal. I had a little sidestep trip to Singapore from Europe, but now back in Slovenia. Oh, wow. Very cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
I have a friend. He might be in Slovenia now. Albert,
oh, that's right.
Because he's coming here after he leaves there.
That's right. Hey, Alicia. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, Hugo.
Lisa, how you doing?
How do you run out of money 2-3 days after you get there? How does that work? Like, I don't know. So there are people on the internets and in the YouTubes.
You say internets.
I say internets. Talking about just quit your job and move abroad. Yes, we do want you to quit your job and move abroad. But
be ready to do
it. With a plan, with a financial plan, right? I don't know y'all's finances. And so when we decided to quit, we had already saved up 2 years worth of living expenses. Actually, that was just in cash. That doesn't include what was in our
Investment accounts and
401
savings.
ks, investment accounts, and stuff like that, right? So yeah, babies, have a plan. And obviously, this person didn't have a plan. Yes, Mexico is a lot less expensive than America, but it ain't free.
And it ain't America.
And it is not America. And let me tell you, you don't want to get caught out there. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let me see these questions here. Okay, so y'all saw these videos. I was just amazed. I am 80 and living in Querétaro. I do not go to doctors, over 60 years visiting in Acapulco and living part time. Wow, 80. Lovely, Judith. Lovely,
Yeah,
lovely, lovely. Um, you know, some of us are not fortunate enough not to have to go to doctors. Hey, good to see you, Wonderlust. Glad you're here. You are not late.
definitely.
Um, yeah. Okay. So Greta saw the interview. So that's in our Fire Over 50 group. Okay. So quick vibe question. Considering unforeseen medical events, do you all have insurance such as AFLAC, hospitalization or accident plans? Would they cover you internationally? Okay, so let's just take a quick second to talk, because the healthcare is one of the major expenses that you always have to plan for, right? There, you've got your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this is down there with needs. So when we were traveling, we had Safety Wing, and we still had our insurance in America. So I'm on Obamacare, he's got Medicare. And we're continuing that because it is less expensive for me to have Obamacare in America than to pay the crazy price for travel healthcare insurance when we go back for just a month or whatever to America. They don't even want to cover you half the time,
No, they
these
don't, because
companies,
America's so expensive.
because it's so expensive. But for the Portugal visa, you have to have private healthcare insurance for the time in between you arriving and getting your residency card. And so we purchased it way back in August, but it didn't take effect until October once we got here. So from October to March, I don't know, it was like 6 months for both of us, was like $336. And I don't remember the name of the company offhand, but if you email us, I can give you the name if you're interested, because they do cover not just Portugal, it's worldwide, except America is a different story. But in general, they cover worldwide. So our email address is hello@ourblackutopia.com, or you can go to our YouTube page, and under About, it will show you the email address.
Also, I was going to say on the insurance thing again, is once you qualify for insurance here in Portugal, uh, you become a resident. Then you don't have to have private insurance, but it's better to have private insurance, and everybody pretty much that does come here does have private insurance also, because it's a whole lot faster to get other things taken care of that you might need right then and there. The healthcare system is just as good as the private system. Matter of fact, the private system works off of the public system. But
Yeah,
check
unlike
out that
America.
video. If you haven't checked out that video with Serenity, Dr. Michael, he's excellent. He's the one that actually helped us to get our private health care. I mean, he didn't pay for anything, but he went and
Shopped.
helped shop
Yeah,
what we needed and stuff like that. And then
yeah,
we had questions, and
yeah.
we can ask him, and he would give us the answer to different things. So
So, unlike America, the public system here is very well funded, and the only thing is, to one, as an immigrant, we don't want to put an extra burden on the
mhm.
public system. The system is made for citizens, and yes, as residents, we pay taxes. We are allowed to use it, but if we can afford to pay for private healthcare insurance, then we probably should, right? So that's that. The other thing is like Rick said, expediency. So getting faster service for non-emergency things like just hot flashes, they might have said, okay, that's not an emergency. We will see you in a month and a half. But I have hot flashes today. I want an appointment in the next week or two. And so private healthcare insurance will get you that appointment in the next week or two. How much is it with pre-existing conditions and at our age, our mature young age? It was $1,800 for the year. For the year, y'all. For the year. So, the only thing, if you're thinking about Portugal, do not let your insurance in America or your home country expire.
Yeah,
You
don't
must
let it
be,
lapse.
especially if you've got pre-existing, because they will not cover pre-existing here in the private healthcare system unless you have had continuous insurance. And so that's what we do. We've got the travel health insurance that helps us here for emergencies. We just got regular healthcare insurance, and then we've kept our American insurance for when we go there because, yeah, safety wing and places like that, they're not trying to cover you in the United States because the United States is just too out of control. It's out of control. It's out of control. So I remember one of the stories Cortez shared. A family got stuck in the airport.
Yeah.
So we were going to bring up that story as well. Something is not ringing right about that story, because if their flight got canceled, then doesn't the airline reschedule? How do you end up living in the airport for 3 weeks? Something just did not add up with that story.
Unless they just bought a ticket to Mexico City and that was it. And they were not being honest about having
that's what I'm saying.
A ticket, further on. But they were offered. People were helping them. He was trying to help them, but they didn't. What happened, for those that don't know, is his son got sick. A lady had opened her home and said that, well, yeah, you can bring him here, and I'll let him stay with me. But when he got sick, she said, well, they might have COVID, so can they be tested? And they were going to pay for the test and everything. The lady wouldn't do it.
She might have known they had COVID, and
they didn't do it,
might have known that they weren't vaccinated.
Yeah, and then they canceled. The lady said, "Well, I can't let him come stay here with me." Which, can you blame her? And most of these people disappeared again. He said they, end up going back to the States and stuff like that,
or wherever, because he never heard from them again.
Yeah, he never heard from them.
But yeah, you do not want to be out in these international streets without a vaccination. I know, but you just don't. It's raging in China again, and the Chinese, the ones that have money, they travel, y'all.
Oh, they're flagging the Chinese like crazy.
Yeah, they travel. They're everywhere we go with all the tourists and everything. You just don't. I think people got on the wave of leaving the U.S. and thinking they can live large, but never lived large in their home country. Very sad and unfortunate. And the other thing is whatever your isms are at home, you can bring them with you. Wherever you go, there you are, right? So if you don't know how to handle money in your home country, what makes you think you're going to handle money correctly when you move, right? You've got to have either a large savings, steady income coming in, or something. You've got to have a plan. Okay. So Regina says, you mentioned that Rick is on Medicare. So am I. We know that Medicare will not cover you abroad. Correct. Can you share how much he is paying for private insurance in Portugal? So yeah, we are paying collectively, because I can't remember how. I just paid the whole bill. I can't remember.
I paid more than she does. My portion is larger than she does because I have pre-existing.
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't have any.
Yeah, but I'm older than her too. So.
Yes, he is.
It is what it is.
He is.
So yeah, my portion is a little bit more than hers, or maybe a lot bit more than hers, but
not that much.
$1,800 per year.
Per year. So we paid $900 and something for 6 months, and then we'll go ahead and pay the other $9 something. So it's like $1,845 or something like that.
And I'm covered.
And the original quote was actually $2,000 something. So it actually went down. Maybe they just assumed I was, for my age, less healthy than I am, because my portion went down, and that is what brought it down. So, and Rick's pre-existing is genetic. There was nothing he could do about that. So, I don't think Americans assume there will be help. We know there isn't social safety net, but people are living on the brink between survival and utter poverty. A friend of ours, Amon, said, and he's so gracious. He said, I think Americans are just overly optimistic. And that was me, because we had absolutely no plan as to how we would retire. Y'all know our dream was to retire, get a Winnebago, and travel around the United States doing video. That was our dream. Did we have an actual actionable plan to make that happen? Hell no. No, not until we heard about financial independence, retire early. Not until we heard about FIRE did we come up with a plan, because now we had the roadmap. The code had been cracked. This is simple. It's simple math. It's very simple, but in America, it just seems like you're supposed to be in debt. And then that's just not the case. All right. So number one, I'm going to get back to the questions, but number one, have a vision of what you want your expat life to look like. Actually close your eyes, you and your partner, close your eyes, envision what that day-to-day looks like. Your laziest self or your most productive self, whatever that is. And what I realized is doing nothing is not a Halisi move. I can't do nothing. There's just so much sleeping in and all of that I can do. And so because of Stephanie Perry, I started working on my novel that I have been toying with since 2012, something like that, when I first brought it up. And every couple years I would add to it and think of something and this and that. I've been paying for the URL for all those years, for 10 years. And so now every day I put in at least 1 hour writing my novel, and whether it ever gets published or not, I don't know.
But I mean, also too, if you just want to be lazy, if you don't want to do anything but sit around or wherever you choose to go, lay on the beach and whatever, that's up to you to do. Just be prepared to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And make sure that you have everything that you need in place to take care of you.
So number one, have a vision of what you want your day-to-day life to look like, plus what splurges you will want to have. Number two, plan the budget necessary to support that day-to-day life as well as the splurges. Number three, create 2 lists. And this is you. Think internally and externally, or mentally and about outside forces. All right. So create a list and list all of the things hindering you from reaching your goal, whether they are internal or external. So internal will be things like people who invest money are greedy. Money is the root of all evil. I always heard that money didn't grow on trees, and it's just always so hard to get money. That's internal stuff, right? External stuff could be your credit card debt. Right? So write a list of all of the things that are hindering you from reaching your goal. And then B, list all of the things helping or keeping you on track to reaching that vision. We're handling money problems. I don't remember this one. Tell the story of marriage problems or handling money problems.
Oh, if you're married, or you and your significant other, you and your husband, whatever, are looking at doing this, don't, if you're like, say, like Cortez says, if your relationship is jacked up in the United States, it's gonna be jacked up here. So make sure mentally, physically, and everything else that you are working on a good relationship and keeping it together, because you're in a foreign land now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You don't want to bring your U.S. baggage.
No.
You don't. You don't want to bring the same problems to a foreign land that you had in the United States because it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, there will be pressures, especially because you don't have the same outlets, right? And so you're going to be hanging close together a lot of the time. See, you made me start, my eyes start watering. You made me laugh so
I
hard.
love Cortez.
So, the relationship needs to be strong. With that, understand. And there's a young lady who's out there. I can't remember her name right now. It's slipping me, but she says you cannot heal and cope at the same time. So some things you will need to remove yourself from that situation. For instance, I was just talking to another friend of mine who's here visiting, and she says, I've been trying not to let the racism stuff follow me here and think that anytime I don't get good service or this or that, it's because of racism, right? And that's hard to do. It's hard to get rid of that before you leave the States because you're living it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So some things it's hard to work on while you're still in the States, but some things you absolutely must work on. And so once you have a list of all of the things that are hindering you and all of the things keeping you on track, step 4 is to write down next to that how you will handle each thing that is hindering you. How are you going to reverse that? And then how are you going to take advantage or build upon all of the things that are helping you on your journey? So, one of the things that was helping us was automating the amount of money that we had going into our 401ks. Once we decided that, hey, we're going to start saving 60% of our income. And we just did that. It was very easy to then turn around and say, well, why don't we do that with everything? We automated all of our bills. So we knew 100% of our credit cards were going to be paid off at the end of the month. That means we have to watch and make sure we just not cha-ching, 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 cha-chinging around here. Right. And the other thing was, and it's still happening today, even though we are living on just one Social Security check, because we're not, I'm trying not to touch our savings. And we've only been touching it for the expenses in the States regarding the house fire and all of that stuff. And some of the move that we planned for. But one of the things that we still have going on is that money is being taken from our savings account and going straight into our IRA
accounts,
and into our brokerage account. And it's not as much as we were doing before, but it is some, and actually has added up to there's like $1,200 just sitting there that we need to decide what we're going to do it with. But with the IRA, it immediately goes ahead and buys the index funds that we are invested in. And so once you find something that works for you, double down on it. All right, let's get back to some questions.
Somebody gave us
Oh, we've got a super chat here. Marguerite, thank you, Marguerite. Let me find it in the thing. So y'all know.
There's two.
Y'all know that the super chat money and the super sticker money. So we're on a third-party platform called StreamYard. So if there's like a moving sticker and stuff like that, we can't see it. But thank you, Marguerite, so much. All of our super chat and super sticker money goes to our scholarship fund. We gave away 4 scholarships last time to our challenge. Y'all, we are about to take the information in our challenge and create a self-paced course. If that is something that you would like, and it's six different modules, from investing to saving and everything that you need, how to create a side hustle, all of that stuff with videos. If that is something that you would like, let us know in the chat. Yeah. So I know the people who took the challenge were really excited about the information. And so we want to bundle that up and offer it to more people on a self-paced course, because that was a lot of information for a week, y'all. That was a lot of information. And thank you, as always, Dr. Phil. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's get back to these questions here. I see Karen's got a question, but I thought I saw one before that. There it is. There it is.
About Mexico.
Okay, that's Greta. So there it is. Okay. Are you going back to Mexico? And if so, what would you suggest?
I
Uh,
think where she's saying where would you go when you
yeah,
do this?
that's what I think. What city or whatever. What we do not like, and we figured out, is the tourist
No.
areas because we don't like being treated like a tourist. So when we visit again, which will probably be in July, is going to be hot. So it's probably going to be the cooler areas like Querétaro, Guadalajara, and Mexico City. Those are the areas that have enough locals and less tourists
Mhm.
per capita so that we can blend in and not be a walking wallet. That notion of being a walking wallet, which is a Rashida Dow thing, I don't like it. I don't like it. I love the fact that here we are assumed to be Portuguese. There are so many Black folks here in Portugal that
Yeah.
folks on the street just assume we're Portuguese. They speak to us in Portuguese, and then they hear what we say and they go, "Oh, English? Yes, please." Um, Solvency in Mexico is 5,500 for permanent residency. Is that what it is these days? It was not even close to that when
Mm-mm.
we applied back in February. So, y'all, if you want residency in Mexico, because there is no criteria that you have to stay in Mexico, do it as soon as you can, even if it's just temporary, because then you can
Mhm.
fly back down there 2 years from now and get it renewed. And then after that, get permanent just as long as you have had that. So, and the reason why I say that is because they keep raising the bar.
Yeah, everything keeps changing. Even Portugal,
Yeah, Portugal as well.
everything is changing.
But $5,500 a month?
Yeah.
What, I think it was only like 3,000 or something like
Mm.
that just in February. The other thing is every single consulate for the most part is different and they have different criteria. So we applied in Denver. What was true in Denver was not necessarily true in Miami-Dade, was not necessarily true in Houston or Louisiana, etc. You get the point. So Mexico,
In
unlike most,
Mexico, you didn't have to go to a certain embassy.
no,
You could
that's
go
another
to
thing.
anyone.
Yes. So Portugal, you have to go to the embassy that they assign you to, which is the one kind of closest to you. But for Mexico, first of all, because it's Mexico, they have a ton of consulates all over the United States, not just 3 or 4 like Portugal. And yeah, you can go anywhere you want. So if we didn't get the answer we wanted in Denver,
We heard Louisiana was
we heard Louisiana was a good bet.
very, very good.
Yeah. So our best friend Greta, how you doing? Midlife money moves.
It was good.
Oh,
Them grits is kicking.
yes. So y'all know grits are hard to come by here in Portugal. So if y'all come into Portugal and you bring us some grits, we'll take you out to coffee. We'll take you out to coffee. So Heather gave us the grits we have. And y'all, I use these grits so sparingly. When I was at home, I would just pour the thing in. I would never measure because if we had waste, this is not good. But I didn't trip over the waste. And it's like someone will eat them or will throw them away and I'll go buy more.
She rations them.
I ration those grits. I ration them. So do you remember the name of the travel insurance? So no. The travel
Insurance?
I want to say, was it a Z? No, that's our we
That's
have a
Safety
Ziza
Wing.
now.
Right.
We had Safety Wing while we were traveling during the summer, but
Yeah.
the travel health insurance that we got for here,
Oh.
I think it starts with an A. I can't remember, Greta, but I will get it and I will put it in the description below so you guys can look. Insurance.
It wasn't Alliance, was it?
I think so. No,
Because Alliance is one of the main insurance
it
companies.
might be Alliance. ALIANZ or ALLIANZ.
Yeah. Alliance.
So it might be that, but let me triple check. I want to say it's ATX or something like that. Or
Okay.
I don't know. I got it. So if you're going to use Gail at Relocate to Portugal to do your Portugal stuff, she's the one who gave us that one. So yeah, you'll be in good hands. Marguerite asks, I will be getting Serenity Insurance. Does Serenity coverage? Okay.
Serenity is not an insurance.
It's not an insurance
No.
company. It is a health concierge. So for folks who do not speak Portuguese,
and you do not know the system here, in Portugal,
which is totally
it's
different.
totally different. They will take you by your hand
Yes.
and they will walk you through. I mean, prescriptions. If I need a prescription, they made sure I had the prescription I need. They even delivered it to us.
Yeah.
Well, at the time I had COVID, so I couldn't go anywhere anyway. But
She brought it here.
because they have doctors on staff, they're not meant to be your personal doctor.
Right.
But because
But
now
they
I
can
have my
talk the
own
talk.
personal doctor. But they know the language. They contact. They'll set your appointments up for you.
Yes.
Whatever you need to have done, all you have to do is call them. Whatever concern that you have, you call them, and they make sure it gets done for you.
Yes. And if you need a translator or any of that stuff, yeah, it has been lovely. They gave me a choice of like 4 of their top gynecologists. I hate to use this word, but I'm going to use it. Geriatric gynecologists that specialize in older women. And the female doctor that I chose was on point. It was a mixture of holistic and traditional medicine, and she prescribed vitamins, and what she prescribed was created just for me. So it was a list of ingredients in certain amounts that were sent to a lab created just for me. And then I will have a blood test and they will look to see what they can put more or less of in. And then they will, for the next batch, they will create another batch just for me. Y'all, it's on another level. So I see some super chats, but I don't want to miss these questions either. So Kendall asks, I am told that the Portuguese mortgage market will only give a mortgage up to 75. So all mortgages must be paid off by the time you reach that age. Yes. Mm-hmm. That is the case today. That may not be the case tomorrow because folks are living longer. And then sometimes they'll make you get life insurance. So if you pass away before you pay it off, the life insurance will pay the bank because properties don't move here like they move in the United States. Bidding wars and things like that only happen here because of folks coming up because of immigrants. Right. Otherwise, things will sit on the market. And so the notion of flipping houses and things like that is not really a thing.
And what was the thing, something about if you have children that you can purchase or have it purchased through your child or your grown adult child?
Yeah. So if you have adult children, you can put them on the mortgage and then you act as a co-signer. And that way, let's just say they're 35, then you can get finance a 50-year mortgage,
So there's ways about it.
Yes. So Jason, thank you. Have you come across digital nomad expats? Are you kidding me? I'm wondering how they are able to work for U.S. companies and travel and work at the same time. So yes, and they have tons of co-working spaces here. Mm-hmm. We see them everywhere. Maybe we should do a video on that.
I think probably we should.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Co-working spaces. So yes, I would say join. As far as Portugal goes, join Black in Portugal. I'd say 3 of the ladies who run Black in Portugal are not digital nomads. They live here, but they also work. Our good friend Tawana owns a company that is based in the U.S. and she's here. So, I think what would be hard is if you were here and your company was based in California or the West Coast. That would be difficult because that 8-hour time difference is something else. But if it's based on the East Coast and you only have to keep those hours, that 5-hour time difference is not that bad and actually would give you the opportunity to go out during the day. And then they wake up they get to work at 9 o'clock. It's already, 1 o'clock or so here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock here. So you've had the whole morning to go explore and do whatever. Right. And then at 2 o'clock or so, you start working. And then here, the days start late and end late. So dinner does not start here. The dinner restaurants don't open until 7:30. Right. It is nothing to see kids at the park playing at 8:30 at night with parents and stuff. And I mean little kids.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Little kids.
Especially in the summer when it warms up and there's no rain.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's like them little kids need to have their little butts in the bed.
But they're not. They're out
But
playing.
they're not. They're having fun.
Yes. Wonderlust, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to donate to your challenge. Oh, thank you. I learned so much, and I'm grateful to have caught it in November. Thank you. I hope to meet you guys both in April. Y'all know we are having a meetup right after Exodus Summit. I believe it is theirs ends on the 24th. So it is the Wednesday after the 24th. And I don't know the date, but I'll look. So thank you. Thank you so, so much. Y'all know it goes to, if you're tuning in a little bit late, all of the money for the super chat goes to give scholarships to folks who want to get their finances together and don't quite have the money. Hey, there's my friend Stephanie. Hey there.
Stephanie.
Good to see you. Okay. So Rosalind, I think this is where I was at. Do you have to come to Portugal and get a passport stamp first before applying for the long-term visa, or can you just apply for the Portugal visa out of the gate? You can apply out of the gate, but they do like to see that you've been here already, because there are so many people applying. This is one of the easiest visas to get for Europe. And it's definitely the easiest path to citizenship in those two passports, because Spain is easy, but it takes a longer time. So within 5 years, we can become citizens just by passing the language test and have a EU passport. And so because of that, they definitely are trying to make sure that whoever applies really does intend to stay for a while, add to the economy, etc. So if you have not yet visited and you're going to apply, at least be able to say that you've done a lot of research and you have friends who live here. Okay, because they're going to be looking at that, and they have told people no just because they had never been. Okay, so I think I did not miss anything. All right, Karen, I am 64 and I will be moving there this year, but I heard at my age I do not qualify for private insurance. To your knowledge, is this true? No. He's over 64. No. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say I'm over 64.
Because I already said it.
No, that's not true.
That's not true. What is true is that you need to maintain your American health insurance without breaks, especially if you have pre-existing. So that is the part that is true.
I'll say, like Michael said from Serenity when we were talking to him, somebody will cover you. You might not get the coverage, the total coverage that you want. You might not get the golden package, or what is it, the silver and the platinum
whatever.
Package. But stop and look at it like this. You're going to get sufficient enough health care. Plus, once you get your residency, you'll get universal health care. So you'll have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know, and like he said, it's not like if you get sick or something happens to you and they're going to rush you to the hospital. They're going to take care of you. They're not going to refuse you like some American hospitals might say, well, just get you stable and kick you out.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
So here, what you need to understand is the public system is the foundation of the healthcare system here. Private insurance works on top of that. So the public system is the cake, and the private system is the icing on the cake. And so, yes, Stephanie, it's $1,800 per year for the both of us together. Yes. Yeah. So mine alone, I want to say, was $900 for the year. You heard me right. You heard me right.
That sounds about right.
Yep. So Professor says, please bring up all the stories. Y'all, you cannot make this stuff up. We do not want you to move abroad and have a nightmare on your hands. Because Stephanie is one of my mentors. And I'm just going to say, you know, we had a plan before we found what I call the CDMX crew, Rashida, Adelia, and Stephanie Perry. we did have a plan because my stepmother started teaching us about investing and all of that. The part that was missing is, do we have to wait until we fully fired to do this thing? And between Stephanie talking about house sitting to take vacations and things like that, we started looking at the numbers a little bit differently and not thinking that we had to have 100% of our fire number to make this move. But I want to emphasize 2 years of living expenses in cash or in a CD or in a high yield savings account
Accessible.
where it's easily accessed. Okay. We did not, we ain't asking for no food banks, y'all. We are not asking for any food banks. We are not trying to have a GoFundMe so that we can do this thing. All right. So step number one, have a clear vision of what you want your expat life to look like day to day. Write it down and then write down what the splurges look like. Step two, plan the budget necessary to support that day to day as well as the splurges. So I am constantly putting money aside for our little vacations. We've got Sevilla on the list. We want to go visit our friends there. We've got Francis on the list. We still want to go to Morocco, even though we can't make Exodus Summit because we'll be in between the visa and immigration process. So we can't go. And now it's sold out, y'all. So if the meeting would have moved earlier, I still couldn't go because it's sold out. So y'all, they rock. So have a true vision. We want to go to Split, Croatia. We've researched these places and places that we've never even thought of. We are going to have to make a border run because we came here on a tourist visa. So we're thinking of either Dublin or Edinburgh. Edinburgh.
We'd probably go to Dublin.
You think Dublin?
Dublin.
Oh, Dublin. Is that how you say it? How you say it? Okay. And then step three, create two lists. Think internally and externally about what things are hindering you and what things are helping you, right? Have a plan on how you're going to address the things that are hindering you. That includes people, y'all. That includes people. Sometimes people, your friends, your family can be the folks who are stopping you from living your dreams and their limiting beliefs.
We know of people who we've talked to and we talked to, and they wouldn't even tell their family what they were doing. They wouldn't tell members in their family what they were doing because they did not want to hear it. They didn't want to hear all the negative and you can't do this and how you going to do that. And it's like, that ain't for y'all. That ain't your to do.
Because you ain't paying my bills now.
You ain't paying my bills. So sometimes you got to like push those people in the corner and keep going where you got to go because you're going to have them. You're going to have them.
Yeah, 2023 is the year that we are letting go of toxic relationships, right? And so y'all know that, conventional wisdom says if you are an only child, you're supposed to stay at home to take care of your parents. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I know because my father told me he did not and does not want me to do that. My mom, that's another story. But she has learned when I moved out of state that that's not going to be the case. I will make sure that you are okay and love you from afar. Because, the negative talk and all of that stuff just cannot be a part of my daily routine.
No.
So, list all of the things that are hindering you, how you will address them, and then list all of the things that are helping you and how you're going to double down. So that's number 3 and number 4. And then number 5. Do you want to say number 5?
No, you can't.
Okay. So on your calendar, thank you, sweetheart. On your calendar, mark deadlines for your goals. By this time last year, what is today, January 1st, we had already decided that we were going to make the move and retire. The decision happened between December 1st and January 1st. If you saw me on Stephanie's channel, then I was so depressed. I was stressed the hell out. I was like 15 pounds lighter, hair falling out, and like this just could not continue. Working too much, trying to take care of my dad and everything else, and so we looked at our finances, looked at the situation, and said, let's do it. I had no idea what I was going to do with my parents at that time, but I wrote down, we had joined Christina and Amans from Our Rich Journey. We had joined their 365 Days of Fire. They were having a meetup in June, so that became our deadline. And then Exodus Summit meetup was in July. So we were going to Mexico in July to get that residency finished, and Portugal for our scouting trip in June. That was our deadline. We wrote it down. We bought the tickets for June 4th. It was done. So now, working backwards, we started putting on our calendar what we needed to do to make that a reality. A good portion of the stuff did not get done, but the important stuff did get done. And that was the paperwork, the money situation, making sure we knew how to access our money from all over, et cetera, et cetera. Some of the decluttering and things like that, we're still kind of working on.
Well, yeah, there's a whole lot to declutter. you got over 20, 30 years of clutter.
Yeah, definitely. We've been in our house since 2002. So yeah, 20 years worth of crap, 2 households coming together. Yeah. So didn't he sound just like him?
What's that?
Cortez. You got Cortez down.
I love Cortez.
So, so all right, y'all. So those are the 5 steps. 2023 is going to be your year. 2023 is going to be your year. 2022 was our year to make this move. 2023 is our year to stabilize and to grow. We want to put all of the travel plans into motion. Being one of the reasons why we're here in Portugal is because we wanted to say, I feel like having pasta for lunch. I want some good pasta. You want to go to
Let's
Rome?
go to Rome.
Yes. And just buying a $20, $30 ticket and going to Rome. You can do that. You can do that. But you have to have your money straight.
Yes, you do. You do. Do it for you. Do it for you.
Yes.
If anything, just do it for you, man. It's a big world out there. And, just because you were born in the United States doesn't mean you got to die in the United States.
Yeah, truly. So I've been looking for polenta. I'm not sure that I have found it here. I know it's easy to find in Mexico, but I haven't really seen it here. So yeah, all right. Tours to cruise. We are looking at visiting Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Have you visited that area? Yes, that's where we were.
There.
And we did Puerto Vallarta because that's where our immigration person was. We used Sonia Diaz, her firm, DIAZ. And then Sonia, I think it's just SONIA. And it was wonderful. I mean, they got there early, kept our place in line. We could wake up leisurely and didn't have to get there at the crack of dawn. And she did all of the talking for us in Puerto Vallarta. We didn't have to say anything. We just sat there, and once we got in there, within 40 minutes.
We just signed and gave them money when they asked for it.
Did we have to give them money?
Did we give them money? No, we didn't give them money. We just signed.
Yeah.
Everything was taken care of.
Everything was taken care of. So we gave Sonia money. That's who we gave money. And so, yeah. Serenity just charges per year. And
what was it, 100 and something?
I think it's $130 per year.
Yeah, you got concierge service throughout the year.
Yeah, it really, I even had my prescriptions delivered to me.
And they're nurses and doctors and,
yeah,
they have some civilians on there, but,
civilians.
I have my own personal senior care she's a nurse, and I could talk to her, or if I need appointments set up, the other associate, actually, we had him on the channel.
Yeah,
Estenio. So if I need something, I call Estenio to have an appointment or anything set up, and it's taken care of.
Yeah, definitely.
All I got to do is show up.
So, Marguerite, yes, we've already said that Serenity is not insurance, but the private health insurance that you can get through Serenity, they can help you shop and find insurance that meets your needs. We keep our American insurance because it's cheaper, especially Obamacare on no salary, right? Like it's cheaper to do that than to pay for travel health insurance for when I go to the United States. I'll pay for travel health insurance when I go to Mexico. That's not that expensive, but for the United States, it's out of control. AXA, that's it.
Yep, AXA.
That's it. That is the company that we used. That was 300 and something for the two of us for 6 months. Okay, here BP has a question. Halisi and Rick, thanks for Christmas lights. You're welcome. I've been
It was
so
a lot of fun.
Didn't say thanks. So it was a lot of fun, and I know.
And we didn't hit nearly all the spots.
What did we
Because
miss?
we missed the big part with the big fountain.
Yeah, I know.
Because remember when we walked by the other day, it's like,
that.
oh my God,
I
we
thought
missed
about that.
one.
I thought about that. So, well, we'll be here. So next year, because they're probably coming down. Question, I'll be in Lisbon in April as well. Would love to go to the expat meetup. Yes, yes, yes. Please let us know the date and time and location. Yeah. We just thought of this when Stephanie and Rashida planned their summit. That's when we thought about it. And so once they set the dates, then we came up with a date. And so we thought it would be easier to do it afterwards. So, so we're doing it the Wednesday after theirs ends. And if you are part of if you get our emails, then you will know. If you don't get our emails, why not? Why don't you get our emails? That's what I want to know. So if you don't get our emails, you need to get either the Move Abroad Toolkit, will put you on our email list, or the Ready to Retire Toolkit will put you on our email list. The Ready to Retire Toolkit is all about how to reach financial independence, regardless of whether you plan to move abroad. The Move Abroad Toolkit includes that thought process, but is more specifically about moving abroad. So all of that information is in the description below as well. But you got to get on our email list, and then you will know when the meetup is. Okay.
Did we struggle with the idea of what?
Hi, Rick and Halisi. Did you struggle with the idea of waiting until all debt is paid off before extensive travel abroad? My wait will be 18 months. Ugh. So, yes, but we did not. We waited until all debt was paid off before we moved.
Not
but,
travel.
But not travel. So we budgeted travel in and did not get more into debt to travel, because y'all, if you're miserable in your life, it's going to be hard to sustain, getting that debt paid off and what you need to do financially to get you in the position to move abroad or to retire, whatever your dream life looks like. And, nobody wants to be miserable while they're trying to do this thing. They just don't. I think I missed some questions, so I will go back.
You don't. It's hard enough. And, the last thing you want to do is dread having to do something to get to where you want to be.
Yeah. And so we did go to Cancun.
Yep.
So that right after we got vaccinated, we went to Cancun.
Yeah, because we just had to get the hell out.
We had to get out.
We had to get out.
And thankfully, because it was off season, we got an Airbnb at an all-inclusive resort for something like $40 a night. Mm-hmm. Right. And so, we saved up for it. We paid cash. With 2 years of living in Portugal would be approximately $40,000. High five. That depends. It depends on where you're going to live and how you live. So living off of $20,000 a year here is doable, but you need to save more than that. And the reason why we're saying that is because there's an expat tax. To get an apartment, you're going to need I would just arrange for 6 months worth of rent. Okay. So, and that 6 months worth of rent is not necessarily going to pay your first 6 months of rent. Right. So 2 months rent upfront, 2 months rent as a deposit is what we paid. And those 2 months rent up front will cover our last 2 months in the apartment. And then the deposit is the deposit, which we will get back once we prove that we ain't toe up a
Tore up the
place.
place, yeah.
Right? Okay, so there's that. There is the fact that you do not know all of the ways to get inexpensive. You don't know where to shop to get food at an inexpensive cost, right? So when we were here the last time, we did all of our shopping at Pingo Dos, not realizing that fruits and vegetables tend to be a lot less expensive at the marketplaces and at the mom and pop shops. So there's things like that. We had a Viva card to do transportation, which was a discount, but had we just gone ahead and gotten the permanent card then,
Mhm.
we would have saved half of that money. We did not know that they have a rideshare app called Bolt. So we were Ubering everywhere, which sometimes is cheaper than Bolt, but sometimes is more expensive than Bolt. Things like that. So I would not count on just the $40,000 covering you for 2 years. The other thing is where are you going to live? If you live on the Lisbon side, um, you're going to be living in a studio apartment and you're going to be living outside of the historic district, which I would advise you to live outside of the historic district proper anyway, because you don't want to be around all them tourists. You just don't. But if you live on the other side of the river and you're just a 10-minute ferry ride to the tourist area, then you're going to get
Less expensive.
much, much less expensive rents. So it all depends. In our Move Abroad toolkit, we give the databases that we use to get our information, which are Numbeo, and then the Earth Awaits. The Earth Awaits I like because you can put in all of the information and it'll bring up all of the cities, and it has some socio stuff in there, like are they LGBTQ friendly, are they not racist and things like that, which Numbeo does not. However, Numbeo will let you put in Lisbon and then you can look at all of the numbers for Lisbon for an apartment at 1 bedroom inside outside the city center, etc. So
I mean, and Lisbon is great, everybody, but there's a lot of places around Lisbon.
yeah, there are.
There's a
And
lot of places,
yeah,
and that are inexpensive to live in.
however, the majority of Black expats are in Lisbon.
There are in Lisbon.
Black in Portugal starting a Porto chapter because there's enough there now that they think that they should start a Porto chapter. There are Black folks on the Silver Coast. There's Black folks down in the Algarve, et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
Coimbra, et cetera. But English speaking Black folks, just so that you can have a base, right, to give you information and to help you out. Like it was our friend who said, "Oh yeah, we knew about the strike because we have the app." What app? So things like that. You probably want to be in the Lisbon metro area. Otherwise, you might need a car. That's the other thing. All right. So Kendall asks, have you visited the Marvilla Barrio? It looks like the new artist neighborhood. I know you live in Peña de França. Yeah, I will be living in, I can't pronounce that, right by the river. I do know where Marvilla is. I'm not sure if we have visited because sometimes, Lisbon is pretty physically small and you walk in and out of neighborhoods without knowing where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to purposely get off at the stop, and then we would know if we were there.
And we probably have, most likely.
We probably have. Okay, y'all. Let's see. What else are you asking here? Now, I know everybody is not interested in moving to Portugal. Right. So Yolanda said, did we already do this one?
We just did that.
Okay, so I had gone back. All right, so Valerina, did we do this one? How long did it take you to come up with the list? Were you guys and Mrs. before? Were there hits and misses before you got there here? Okay. So if you're talking about the list of hindrances and helps, it took us a couple of sessions of sitting together and looking at the numbers and then looking at the things that were bringing us down. Now, I had already done some work on this without Rick. Rick was working crazy hours outside of the house. I was working crazy hours inside of the house. There would be days where I wouldn't see him for days. That's how crazy the hours were. And he was on salary, y'all. Those people. it still angers me. It
Yeah.
still angers me. See, he's like, oh, just let it go. Ain't nothing we can do about it. But
It
anyway,
don't bother me no more.
so a lot of this stuff we were working on separately. But this, brainstorming this stuff and coming up with a list of what you want your everyday life to look like. This should be a fun thing. You guys relax, have a glass of wine or whatever you do, and just talk about what you want your days to look like. So we would have these conversations off and on for that whole entire month. And we had been talking about Portugal for 2 years. So we already kind of knew. And then the look or the desire to travel and do video, we've been talking about that for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we already knew. And the thing about it is, y'all, think about this. We went from our biggest hope, our biggest dream was to travel around the United States and do video. And now we get to travel around the world, live in Europe and do video. So God was like, oh, that's cute. That's cute.
I got something better.
But I've got something so much better for you. And, we just didn't know. We didn't know. We couldn't see it. What is Howard saying? Yes, to step one. Often we know what we want for others, our adult children. Right?
Exactly.
But it's very important to know what you want for yourself. That's right. And especially as parents, we pour everything into our kids and forget about ourselves.
Do it for you. That's why I said do it for you.
Yeah. Hey, Bugs Malone logging in from How is Uncle Joe and Aunt Gloria? This is Rosalind. Hey there. They are doing relatively well for their advanced years. So I will tell them that you said hello and thanks for watching on Facebook. Let's see, a friend of mine kind of went off on me about wanting to move abroad. Needless to say, they got cursed. Yes, look, everybody is not going to understand. When we first told our kids, what did they say?
Well, it depended on who you talk to. Of course, it's always, well, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to leave the United States? What are you going to do over there? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do? What about this? What about? It's like, that ain't none of your to do. You don't pay my bills.
Yeah.
So we're going to do what we need to do to be happy.
So Auntie Trey says we keep freezing. Are we still freezing? Let's make sure that, is the internet plugged in?
It's plugged in.
Are we plugged in? So we are on wired. And so I'm hoping that we're not still freezing. Let us know in the chat and I'll scroll down and look. Okay, BJM used Teresa, who's with Sonia Diaz in Puerto Vallarta, and she was fantastic to work with. Yes. We had the same experience. Hey there from Germany. I have my residency in Portugal and went to get permanent, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Let us know. Will you also be meeting up in June, before, during, or after ORJ? Yes, we will do a meetup before our Rich Journeys meetup. So their starts on a Thursday. We will be doing it the Tuesday before that. So we're piggyback. Look, we got to piggyback off the big boys because we're just small fish in this whole thing. So Malika says, "Hi, I'm 77 and have reached my goal. I am traveling back and forth. I have residency in Portugal, but spend a lot of time with my son in Spain."
All right.
Okay. Number one, we'd love to interview you. Number two, where should we go in Spain? So we've been to Madrid. We've been to Barcelona. We want to see Sevilla because we've got friends there. Where else should we go? Okay, question. Hi, Rick and Halisi. Hey, how is your Portuguese coming?
Well, it's coming.
New to the channel. Welcome, Curtis.
Welcome. It's coming.
Welcome.
We have...
Bienvenido.
Bienvenido?
That's Spanish.
Oh, well, I was going to say, that ain't Portuguese.
So we've had 9 Portuguese lessons. And
I can say good morning. I can say thank you.
So
it's just trying to remember it most of the time. And I'm trying to listen to it more and more. But yeah, it takes, and we have one lesson a week. So, when you,
But it's private.
it's a private thing, but the government also offers Portuguese lessons once you become a resident, and they're more intense. They
Yeah,
are
that's
very
3 days a
intense.
week. And if you take the course and to completion and get that completion paper, then you do not have to do the test when you go for citizenship. So we're definitely going to do that class. But we are taking private lessons right now with a native Portuguese speaker through a platform called Preply. We have a link in the description below. I think they're still offering 70% off of your first lesson. So my Portuguese is coming a little bit better because I've had almost 3 years of Spanish. And so how does that help? The grammar is very similar. The verbs are, some of them are identical. The conjugation is almost identical except for they. And so I guess a lot, and try to do the Portuguese conjugation of a verb that I know in Spanish, and at least 60 to 70% of the time I'm right. So, but the pronunciation is a tough one. It's kind of like Spanish meets French because they have a lot of missing sounds, and then that sound, a lot of nasal things going on and stuff like that. But it's coming.
And what I started doing, Curtis, is I started singing different things that they say. So I'll look at what my instructor gives me to learn, and I try to put it in my mind as a song.
He's a singer though. So
So
so those patterns help you.
they do, but it still takes a minute because
Yeah.
it's Portuguese.
Yeah. Well, I think it would take a minute even with Spanish if you've never taken a foreign language or you haven't taken anything since high school. Yeah. So
It's coming.
it's coming. It's coming. We are determined to learn it though. And I don't need to speak the equivalent of the Queen's
No,
English in Portuguese. I just want to, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Right? That's, I just want to be able to communicate.
I like to learn it so well that I can go to an American restaurant and sit there with my kids or whomever I'm having dinner with and ask and talk in Portuguese and have the waiter or waitress say, huh?
That's what you want to do.
I want to do that so bad. So bad.
Okay.
Just,
All right.
just
So
rattle it off.
now that I know his goals, he's going to be practicing with me a lot more often. A lot more often. So BP asks, someone here mentioned university town with river north of you. Yes, that's Coimbra. So in my travels, Porto is your jam, huh? So yeah, a lot of people love Porto. We haven't been there yet, but we have been to Coimbra, and it is beautiful. It's a little bit too small for me. I'm a city girl. I am a city girl. I've realized that, but we love it. It's so pretty. It's very hilly. It's if you can believe this, it's hillier than.
It's just that portion of it, though. Maybe we didn't, because where we stayed, where the university is.
It's like the hills are steeper.
Yeah,
and then there's the valley, right? And then remember, the mall was up on the other hill over there on the other side of the valley.
That's true. That's true.
It's hilly.
It's beautiful though. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it is very, very beautiful. So that's Coimbra. It's spelled like coin, Coim, and then BRA, Coimbra. All right. Did we do it? Did we do it? Did we talk about 2023? Let us know in the chat. What are your goals for 2023? That's what I want to hear. What are you guys doing? What are you planning for? Who's planning to get the heck out of Dodge in 2023? We've been having a lot of client calls lately where it's like, what are we going to be talking about? Getting out of the US. That's all it says. So Rick, could you do a chat with brothers making the move? I would love to get a perspective from a brother's point of view. So Kendall, are you a male person, or are you speaking for your husband? Because Kendall's one of those names you don't know. So would you do a live chat just for the brothers? We could do that in the Fire Over 50 group.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd even go as far as inviting somebody like Alex to be in it with me.
Yeah, that would be great.
Somebody that's here, and
Okay, so we've got other ideas here.
yeah, we'll
So,
look
all
at
right,
that,
Kendall.
Kendall. We'll look at that.
So, just to let you guys know, even though I do most of the talking, Portugal was Rick's idea. Moving abroad was our idea. It started with Sarah Palin. We doubled down when 45 got into office, and with the pandemic and everything else, it's just like, let's, and January 6th, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. But Portugal was Rick's idea. It was not my idea. As a matter of fact, I was like, Portugal? Didn't they start the slave trade? I don't want to know Portugal. Here we are.
We are here. Wake up every morning.
Okay, so it's freezing. Not freezing for you. Not freezing. Okay. So, all right, but it's freezing for the professor. I think
Yeah,
we
it's
are
not.
wired, and I don't want to turn off the Wi-Fi, but I'm going to do something right quick. If you guys just hang with us for 1 second, I'm just going to look at the network and make sure we are connected
Everything's
through
connected.
wired. Okay. This apartment has excellent internet, but concrete walls. I think every place, it seems like every place outside the United States has concrete walls. So the Wi-Fi does not go through the walls. And so the
But as far as
owner
being wired, it
has
should be
wired
fine.
every single
Yeah.
room here with internet. So yes. So we're having the meetup in June before our Rich Journey. So our Rich Journeys meetup is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, I think. Monday being in Porto. I think that's what I saw. And we'll be there at our Rich Journey meetups as well, but we're going to have ours 2 days before their first one. So if their first one's on Thursday, we'll have ours on Tuesday, because nobody wants to do something every day. I don't anyway. So we're going to have ours on Tuesday. That will be a bigger one than the one in April. June in Portugal is off the chain, because it is the month where they celebrate all. This is a Catholic country, y'all.
Saints.
Yeah. It is a Catholic country, so they celebrate all of the saints. So not all of the saints, but some of the saints in June, and it's like every freguesia is in competition with the other, who can have the coolest party, the best costumes in the big parade that happens on Avenida Liberdade, right? And it's just, I mean, you just walk up on squares that have festivals happening all over the city, and it is so cool.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Malika bought a home on the Silver Coast. Very good.
Okay.
Well, shoot, we want to come see you on the Silver Coast. The temperature is freezing, but your video feed is not. Okay. I'm sorry y'all are cold. It's rainy here, but it actually isn't cold. So I start bundling up because it looks blustery outside and stuff like that. So I start bundling up. And by the time we walk down to the metro, I'm like taking things off. You really don't need anything more than a light sweater and a jacket. Not a coat, but a jacket.
Rui.
Hey, Rui.
My friend, Rui.
Yes. Good to see you in the chat. All right, y'all. So I think we did it. We are going to talk about, I want to see what your goals are. So put goals in front for 2023. I'm going to repeat the steps that we took and the steps that we suggest that you take. Number one, have a clear vision of what you want your day-to-day life to look like and your splurges. Number two, budget for it. Budget for your day-to-day, budget for your splurges. Number three, and number four, create a list of the things that are hindering you and how you address them, and of the things that are actually helping you reach those goals and how you're going to double down on those. And then lastly, number five, mark on your calendar deadlines, and then go back and write down tasks that you need to do. So backtrack. Once we decided that June 4th was the day, right? Mm-hmm. Then we said, okay, so by May, we have to have this done. By April 1st, we want to have this done. By March 1st, we want to have that done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that I knew is that we wanted to video and kind of document this journey, but we couldn't figure out how we were going to edit video. We got to turn that on. We couldn't figure out how we were going to edit video and pack and research and do all of that stuff. So we go live. So we started going live March 20th, and we have not missed a Sunday since, unless it's a holiday or for the Cancun meetup. We did miss that Sunday. So, okay, here we go. I see Auntie Trey. My plan is to step up my game, cut back spending even more, like Stephanie Perry said, radical moves.
Yeah.
Yes. It was very easy for me to stop spending on stuff once we had a clear picture of what our life could look like. Okay. So I like pretty shiny things, and I have expensive taste on a beer budget. But you can only wear one pair of shoes at a time. And here, especially as far as heels go, you ain't gonna, with these cobblestones and these hills, you're not going to be wearing heels. So it was very easy for me to stop spending on stuff once we had that vision and we were talking about it on a regular basis and knew that we could make that happen. So good for you. Good for you, Auntie Trey. So Yamoja says 2023 goals, temporary residency in Mexico and begin Spanish citizenship journey. So in Spain, I'm assuming, so you're going to get Mexican residency and Spanish citizenship is what I'm assuming. Launch YouTube transition to tech channel. Oh, interesting. Okay, very good. Let us know what that channel is.
That's a good kind of channel to
have. Yeah, definitely.
That's one of the highest.
In my travels, I've started house sitting. I've started house sitting, and I will book more international travel. We're ready. We're already house sitting in Europe, but
or is that but
I don't know what the rest of that was. Moved to Portugal in 2023, scouting trip for 4 weeks in mid-January.
Awesome.
Okay, Rhonda. So when we going to lunch, let us know.
Come on now, talk to us. Come on,
send us an email. Okay, so Professor, make sure that there aren't incels. They aren't incels. Cortez warned about those guys who dumped their hate for women on him.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, I'm not listening to all that either. It's like, no, we ain't got time to do it. And
do you know what an incel is?
We're with each other most of the time anyway.
So. Truly. Do you know what an incel is?
What an incel is? No.
Yeah. So I did not know. This is yeah, she knows because she's a professor, and those kids have probably told her. So an incel.
Okay.
Yeah. So an incel is someone who is celibate, but not by choice.
Right. So, and they do weird, crazy things.
And then they want to blame.
And
then they want to blame women. Paying off medical bills and credit cards. Retiring in July 2024.
Awesome.
All right. Very, very good. See, paying off medical bills. Y'all, I'm telling you that is something that I never want to have to do again. I remember when my son has asthma, and when he was little, I remember racing to a hospital. He was having a bad attack. And I realized I was at the wrong hospital. I was not at the hospital that took our insurance. And I was trying to yank the machine off of him. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in tears. I'm like, I can't afford this. I should not have had to worry about how we were going to pay for that when my son was fighting for his life. Well, not totally for his life, but you know what I'm saying. That's just not right. All right. Tours to cruise. Plan to visit Mexico this year and the DR for retirement options. Lovely. Did you see our interview with Bridget that we did?
Yeah, we just did.
Right before Christmas. So she lives in the Dominican Republic and helps folks move there.
Yeah.
So check her out. All right, Karen, 2023 for me is my intentional year. I'm out of the U.S.
Good.
We're on a mission, y'all. We are on a mission. America does not deserve you. It does not deserve your brilliance. It does not deserve your compassion, your humanness. They have used us as the whipping boy, whipping stick, whatever, how this saying goes, long enough. Long enough. They every time something goes wrong, they want to blame us, right? They think the majority think it's their right and their privilege and their purpose to police us and limit our lives. Here in Portugal, we can go across the street to the park and sit on the doggone bench for as long as
all
we
day
want
long, if you want.
without the police being called on us, without somebody saying, "What are you doing here? Why are you loitering?" or any of that other stuff. Freedom, y'all. Freedom. Okay. 600 gun violence. See? Recorded for 2022.
Jeez.
That's why I don't really want to go back to the United States ever, but I have to. We've got weddings and stuff like that we have to go to. I will apply for temporary residency for Mexico in May, plan to scout through November. I'm currently taking one-on-one Mexican Spanish through college. Good for you. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Thank you, Creativity Reigns. What else are you guys trying to do for 2023? And then I'm going to let y'all go because we've been on for 90 minutes
the
now.
Pope is coming to Portugal.
Oh, really? In August. I thought I saw his picture up on the cathedral down the street, and I was wondering why.
Do you have the hookup, Rui?
Yeah. Right? Right?
Rui is our connection to the Opera House.
Yes.
Beautiful Opera House.
Yes, it is.
He took us on a personal tour, but it was fantastic.
I felt so
Actually, we got
privileged.
footage. We got to put that video together so we can put it out.
Yeah, definitely. I will be getting my medical retirement early 2023. Very good, Cindy Carr. I am already retired from the military and I will be looking to move abroad. I love living outside of the US. So, where have you lived outside of the US and where are you planning to retire to? It's warm here in Virginia. Oh, that's good. So hopefully it's warming up back there. Okay, Phyllis, 2023 goals: get Mexican temporary or permanent residency, travel the world, meet up with my sisters at the. Oh, you're going to Morocco. Yay. And then you're coming here in June. Good for you. You were on it. Girl, you blink and you would have missed them tickets for Morocco. I'm telling you, I'll definitely be attending the meetup. It's time for another visit to Lisbon. Yes, thank you, Kathleen. Yes, come on through. Okay, in my travels goals for 2023, long house sits in Asia. I haven't looked for house sits in Asia. We should look for those.
And that's the spot. Yeah.
House sitting has changed our lives. We've been booked and busy since day one. North America and Europe. Asia is the goal. Wow. Yeah. Once you get those 5 stars, we have been getting requests from people here in Portugal for us to house sit their houses. But it's like, I'm not house sitting your house if it's not nicer than my house.
With 10 dogs.
Pay off my credit cards in 2023.
Yes.
Then my student loans will be next. You know what I'm going to say about those student loans, Greta. So if they're private, okay. If they're public, nah. I got up middle of the night, emailed Halisi and Greta. Okay. Did you? Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. About Greta being okay.
About Greta being okay. Yeah, we reached out.
Yeah, I would love to be in Lisbon for the meetup. Oh, yes, Kathleen, definitely. Venus, Portugal, 2023. All right, win in 2023. Okay. At the end, our goal was fall 2022, and we were here September 23rd, 2022. Paying off most of my debt, learning all I can about Portugal, and develop a plan to move in 2024. Okay, Curtis.
Cool.
Yes, let us know how we can help. Rhonda moved to Portugal in 2023, scouting trip for 4 weeks, mid-January to February. There is going to be such a community here. Peace in Europe. Unfortunately, Rui, that is not in our control, but we can pray. Putin is out of control. And then the other thing is, y'all, this is what we need to be praying about. We need to pray about the economy and that these governments understand the pressures that the average person is dealing with, because this whole Trumpyism is on the rise, and it's on the rise when people feel economically insecure. Okay. And so yeah, we definitely need to keep the world in prayer, and specifically the countries that have been a stabilizing force. And Putin just needs to go home somewhere. That's for doggone sure. All right. Gucci don't care about you. Rosalind, you are so right. You are so right. Goals, increase saving and investments. Perfect.
Awesome.
By how much? Be specific. Goals have to be measurable. So we said we wanted to get up to 60% savings rate. And that's what we did, right? If we just said save more, then $10 more per month is saving more.
Yeah, be
So
specific.
be specific so that you can measure it. All right. Goals. Continue to declutter. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Starting my D7 process in Portugal, September 2023.
Awesome.
Yes, 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 yes. Are you subletting your apartment if I go to Mexico? So we don't have an apartment in Mexico if you're talking to us, BP. We do not have a permanent place. We were in Airbnbs.
Croatia's using the euro.
Oh, so Rui,
So,
he's the one who told us we had already put Split, Croatia on our list of places to retire. And he's the one who told us that it is a fabulous city. So it's because of you that it is now on our 2023 list to visit. And they're using the euro. What were they using when we were there? I don't
I can't
remember.
remember what the name of it was.
I don't remember. I think I assumed it was the euro, but I don't remember. So Diane is going to sell her house in March. Okay, I'm blessed. I am blessed. My son is my realtor. That is blessed, and have the support of both my sons and grandchildren.
Cool.
Yay.
Good.
It's good to have a support system. Sometimes you have to move ahead even if you don't, but if you do, it makes it so much easier. Okay, goal number 1, more research and where I'd like to move abroad. Good. Y'all. Definitely get our move abroad toolkit. Okay, get the toolkit, go through it. It's like a 10-page workbook. You'll get emails that give you extra explanation, and you will get on our email list so that yeah, you will know when those meetups are. Now I lost my place. Doggone it. Okay, there it is. Okay. Continue to build YouTube and associated business. Creativity Reigns. Is your YouTube channel Creativity Reigns? And then let us know, email us. I want to know what it's about and do more of what I love. Yes. Yes. So my novel is fantasy. I love fantasy books. I love sci-fi. And so I'm in the process right now of creating the world, and I'm having fun. 5'11" plus size. So that saved me from becoming a big shopper. Thank goodness. So you will find clothes here. There are tall people here.
Yeah.
Very tall, like women and men. So party goals. Great summer concerts going on this summer. Afro Nation down in the Algarve, June 28th through the 30th. Lionel Richie in Lisbon, July 8th. See? There we go.
Nora
I thought we were going to
Jones.
spend a lot of the summer outside of Portugal. Question: destroyed high heels on Granite Mall in downtown Denver. Hey, and they will be destroyed even further here on these things. Okay, so Wanderlust, Mexican temporary. Oh, we saw this one, didn't we? Oh, maybe she put some more information. Mexican temporary residency in May, scout from May to November, study Mexican Spanish, invest and decrease debt. I can't decide on avalanche or snowball. Yeah. So she's talking about two debt reduction methods, avalanche and snowball. One is you take the smallest credit, let's just say credit card debt. You take the smallest one and you put extra money towards that one. And then
Mhm.
you take all of the money you were paying towards that one and put it towards the next, et cetera, et cetera. And so, and then avalanche is the opposite. You go with the one with the highest interest rate. I like quick wins. I I like ooh, that feeling of paid off. So I did the snowball method. I think that's what it's called. I did the one where you take the smallest first.
Mhm.
So, involuntary celibate. Yes, involuntary celibate. That's what an incel is. Okay. All right. We're going to wrap it up here. My goals, I want to book long house sits in Asia. We're booked and busy for accommodations around the world. Is the best flex. It truly,
Yeah, it
truly
is.
is. Okay. I've spoken to folks who've lived in both and they deny the comparison. I lived in, okay. She's talking to somebody else. I don't know who you talk to. Um, Atlanta. So would a channel be to do step by step to do a pensioner's visa? Okay. I think, are you
To
asking,
start a channel that does that?
well, no, that's just one subject matter. Are you asking us to do something on the pensioner's visa or BP? I don't know what you're trying to say, baby. I don't know what you're trying to say. So ask the question again, please. Goals, goals. Pay off credit card debt, start walking more. Summertime is walking on your calendar? So I have put workout on my calendar. And then Rashida today got me thinking about belly dancing lessons. I don't want to pay what they're asking. So I'm going to start with YouTube. On the days it's raining, I will do YouTube belly dancing. And then these hills, you don't need a gym membership. All you need to do is walk down and then walk back up. And these hills will get you huffing and puffing, right?
Mhm.
Alicia, residency renewal at the end of May and moved to Mexico City in September 2023. Yes,
Awesome.
I love Mexico City. I've never been there, but I just love it from afar. And Kendall's talking about the
Afro Nation.
yes.
The concerts in Lisbon.
See, I'm just saying, like, why should I house sit in an apartment that's not as nice as the one we live in, right? You know, I'm just telling you. Oh no. All right, you guys. A couple of addendums. Securing work from anywhere job. Yes. So there, look, um, you don't have to wait until and do the retirement thing. This is 2023. You can work from anywhere. If you need to still work, but you want to move yesterday, find a work abroad job. And you might find that you can pay off debt and things like that once you have lowered your costs.
Load your costs.
Now
Yeah.
we have friends here said their costs are not any lower. I don't know how that's true because they don't own a car anymore. So that right there just got rid of $500 for us between his car payment, my car was paid off, and our insurance. That was $500 a month. We don't have that anymore. Um, all of the money that it took to get to work and all of that stuff, all the clothes and the this and the that, and going to the hairdresser. I get my hair cut for €12.50. I used to pay $65 plus a tip. I'm just saying.
Mm.
Poverty creates crime. Crime, the politics in the US is why left. Yes, poverty
Yeah.
does create crime. And well, not with some of these mass shootings, these crazy racist mass shootings. That's just cray cray. That is instilled privilege. And then when life shows up, they can't figure out, well, why aren't I living large? It's because you're an idiot. That's why you ain't living large, because you didn't put in the work, because you didn't do X, Y, and Z, but you want to blame it on black folks and then go shoot up a black church. Mm. However, I do have to say, I went to Beverly Hills High School and I didn't see any racism there. I didn't. Those folks were happy. They were happy. They're like, I got mine. You got yours? I got mine. I'm good. So 2023 goals, temporary residency in Mexico, either move or snowbird while I rent or Airbnb my house in North Carolina. Yes.
Cool.
Bring home at least 36,000 from my working streams of income. I love it, Yvette. I love it. I love it. I love it. Renewed passport yesterday. Yes. So we have to get our kids just to get passports so they can come visit us.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not saying it anymore.
No, I'm not either. Get immunization update. Celebrate 40th birthday overseas. Yes, Letitia. Declutter and move unapologetically. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Greta. With my contribution 401k plus the match, want to save $1,000 per month. I'm just under 1,000 now. That's what I like to see. Exact amounts. Now you know. You can pat yourself on the back and then when you have a little extra splurge because you're doing what you said you were going to do. Your apartment in Lisbon, you subletting. No, we're not subletting here, and we cannot. So our our landlord lives across the way, so he owns, or their family owns, that apartment and this apartment. And so even if we were to take 3 months in Mexico, we would just have to pay rent. We couldn't Airbnb it or anything because he'd see, our front doors look at each other. We don't have any shared walls though, I don't think. But our doors do look at each other. So yeah, he's good. He's a great landlord. He bought us this beautiful refrigerator. It is all good. So yeah. All right, y'all. We are going to let you guys go. We are going on 2 hours. We are so happy that you decided to spend New Year's Day with us. 2023 for us, we want to get to 15,000 subscribers. I don't know why. Is that a reach goal? I want validation that what we are talking about is bringing value. And right. And I want to reach more Black folks to let them know that they don't have to remain stuck in the United States under that regime and the abuse that the power structure, hands down. Right. The other thing is that Black folks have been so conditioned to think that if they do the right things and keep their nose clean and this and that and the other, then the rest will come. And it just doesn't. Respect doesn't come. Acceptance doesn't come. Peace does not necessarily come. None of those things come because as long as racism is out of control in America, and that kind of racism, I just don't see how any Black person can be truly free or happy. If you are afraid for your life, we tell the story often when we were here in June and we were taking this tour with a friend of ours named Naki. It's the African Lisbon tour. And we were down in the historic part in front of a church. And 3 or 4 cop cars came zooming up and stopped right behind us. And I was looking at Naki to see his response because he's lived here for 8 to 10 years or whatever. And there was no response whatsoever. He went on with his tour and talking about what he was talking about, explaining the history of that church and its significance in the African Portuguese diaspora or whatever. And so when I finally asked him, I said, so 3, 4 cop cars pulled up. Did that cross your mind? He's like, no, should it have? Well, if we were in America, we all would have tensed up like, okay, what's about to go down? Why are they swooping in? And they are probably just swooping in to take a break.
They were parking.
Yeah,
they went and got them something
to eat or whatever. Yeah. So declutter my flat, create office space, start my art print business. Ooh, that sounds fun. Train for and run a 5K race for charity. I love it. I love it. Yes, most crimes are definitely for survival. It's just those mass killings that just get me. How you see the man who killed a student in Idaho, his family owned slaves in Barbados. See, I didn't even hear about the killing in Idaho or the man. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about because I don't listen to the news. My first solo trip is in January 19th. Is January 19th. Yes, and I cannot pronounce that place, but I think it's
Oaxaca.
in Mexico.
It's Oaxaca.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on the map. For a total of 5 weeks. Yes, yes, glass half full. Yes. Real estate investment is on the calendar. I love it. I love it. Okay, KB, purchase a house hack.
Purchase a house.
So I'm thinking what you mean is a multifamily home where, like, if it's a duplex, triplex, or something like that, then the other people will help pay off the mortgage and your portion is what I think you're saying. Get Mexican residency, transition to another career that allows for remote work. Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
Continue investing, Portugal scouting trip, increase workouts, and eat healthier. Did you put the workouts on your calendar? I'm trying to do the same thing. That's why I'm asking. I'm really talking to myself. I'm really talking to myself here. All right. All right. We're going to let you go. We're going to let you go, y'all. Thank you, Karen Louise. It's always nice to see you live. You're always commenting in the replays and everything. We love you. We love your spirit. We just do. We just do. You are just uh, great vibes come through. As always, this live was a pleasure. Thank you, Howard Worldview. We love y'all. Okay,
We missed you.
Yes, we missed you guys. Okay, so one last question. I am petrified of American healthcare system, and you should be. I had to use healthcare system here for profit, and I'm bankrupt. That is one of the main reasons why we decided to leave, because we could have saved all of this money. And when I realized that my father would have to die in poverty in order to get his long-term health care, in order to get help from the government for his long-term care, that was all I needed to see. And like I said, in Colorado, they will take the spouse's house once that spouse passes away or transitions to make up for the money that they had to pay for the other spouse.
Right.
Unless the laws have changed since I checked. So we are not about that life. So 2023 is the year. Let's let this be the year that helps make your dreams come true, not them nightmares we were talking about with Cortez. Right? We do not want our folks asking about no food banks unless they're there to donate. We don't want them asking about a place to live unless they just need help finding an apartment, but definitely not because they've run out of money.
Yeah. Surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yes.
They want to do positive things.
Yes.
Positive people. Let the negative Nellies do the negative Nelly things with other people like them.
Yeah.
Because you don't need them.
Definitely, definitely. So if you all found this enjoyable, please hit that like button. Please, please, please. We didn't have Action VJ in the chat today telling everybody to hit the like button. And share it if you find this information interesting. One last thing, on every other Thursday, starting this Thursday, we are going to be starting short lives where we don't have interaction with the audience, but we're going to go live to answer one question, like the questions that you were giving us about co-working spaces and things like that. Mm-hmm. So this Thursday, we will be talking about Airbnbs in the Lisbon area, do's and don'ts, what to look for if you're coming for a vacation, or what to look for if you're coming for a scouting trip, what the pricing is and everything else. That is this Thursday at 5:00 Eastern time. And so every other Thursday, we will have short lives. If you have a question, send it to hello@ourblackutopia.com, and we will try to answer it if it's about Airbnbs on air, or if it's something totally unrelated, maybe we will do a short live just about that question. So
thank you so much for,
yes, we love
for all
you
the
guys.
donations. And
yes.
We really appreciate you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Happy New Year's to everybody, and we look forward to meeting again very soon because we missed you so much.
We did miss you. We missed you. So thank you. See y'all.